Are you feeling like the world is trying to tear you down? Let me tell you something. There's a power in you. A power so fierce that no one can break you unless you allow it. If they try to break you, let me show you exactly what to do instead. When life gets tough, when challenges arise, when people or situations try to tear you down, there's something you need to remember. You are stronger than you think. We often go through life facing obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. But in those moments of struggle, that's when we need to remind ourselves of our inner strength. It's easy to get caught up in what's happening around us, to feel overwhelmed by what others are saying or doing. But the truth is, we have the power to rise above it all. You've probably faced some of your hardest days. Maybe it was when you lost a loved one, or when a relationship ended that you thought would last forever. Maybe it was when your dreams seemed out of reach, or when you were mocked for daring to be different. But let me tell you something. Each time you stood back up, each time you found the courage to keep moving forward, you were tapping into something powerful. That's the strength I'm talking about. It's in your heart, it's in your soul. It's in every step you take, no matter how small, when life feels like it's trying to knock you down. Think about those times when you felt like giving up, when you were emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and physically worn out. There was a voice deep inside you, maybe faint at first, telling you to keep going. Maybe you ignored it for a while, thinking it wasn't enough. But it was. It always is. That voice is your inner strength, trying to remind you of who you truly are. You are more than your circumstances. You are more than the opinions of others. You are a force. A force that can never be broken. Let's take a moment and talk about some real-life examples. Think about a single mother working 2 jobs just to put food on the table for her children. She barely sleeps, hardly has time for herself, yet she never stops. She doesn't let the weight of the world crush her spirit. Each morning, she rises, even when her body aches and her mind wants to give in. Why? Because she knows that she has to be strong, not just for herself, but for her children. That strength is something that no one can take away. That strength comes from within, and it is limitless. Or think about the young student who has been told repeatedly that they will never make it. They come from a background where success seems impossible, where failure is expected. But every time someone says they can't do it, they dig deeper. They study harder, push further, and break through every barrier that tries to hold them back. They don't just rise to meet expectations, they shatter them. Why? Because they know deep down that they are more than what others think of them. They know that they are capable of greatness. And what about those times when you've been betrayed? When someone close to you broke your trust, made you feel like you weren't enough. It stings. It hurts. The pain can sometimes feel unbearable, but that's when your strength shows up the most. You don't crumble. You don't let someone else's actions define your worth. You pick yourself up, heal your wounds, and move forward. You're not defined by the people who try to tear you down. You are defined by how you rise above it all, stronger and more determined than ever. The power to rise from the ashes is within you. The truth is, strength isn't always loud. It's not always about making grand gestures or shouting from the rooftops. Sometimes, strength is quiet. It's the resilience to keep going even when no one is watching. It's the discipline to stick to your goals, to stay focused even when the world around you seems to be falling apart. It's in the moments when you feel like you reached the end of your rope, yet somehow you tie a knot and hold on just a little longer. That's strength. The strength to keep moving, even when it seems like there's no way forward. No one can break you unless you let them. You are not fragile. You are not some delicate thing that can be easily shattered by the weight of the world. You are made of fire, resilience, and a willpower that doesn't bend. The challenges you face are not a reflection of your weakness, but a testament to your strength. And the more they try to break you, the stronger you will become. The world doesn't know the full extent of what you're capable of, because the power within you is unstoppable. There will always be people who try to bring you down. They will try to tell you what you can and can't do, who you can and can't be. But let me tell you something right now. Their words are not your truth. In fact, their words only have power if you give them permission to. The moment you allow someone's opinion of you to become your reality, you've already lost. I want you to think about something for a moment. How many times have you been told that you couldn't do something? Maybe it was from a friend, a family member, or a colleague. Maybe they told you that you weren't smart enough, or strong enough, or capable enough to chase your dreams. But you're here, aren't you? You're standing, breathing, and moving forward. Despite all those voices, despite everything they tried to tell you. And that is power. The power to look beyond what others say and see your own worth is a strength that cannot be measured. Look at those who have gone before you. Look at the legends, the warriors, the champions, who didn't listen when the world said they were too weak, too small, or too different. Take a moment to reflect on someone like Oprah Winfrey. She was told she was too ugly to be on television, that she would never make it. But did she let that define her? Did she let the narrow-minded people tell her what she could and couldn't achieve? Absolutely not. She used those words to fuel her fire, to prove the world wrong. And now look at her. She's not just on television. She's creating history, inspiring millions every single day. Or think about J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by countless publishers before the world discovered Harry Potter. She had been told by those in the industry that her writing was too long, too complicated, and that no one would ever care about a boy with glasses and a lightning bolt on his forehead. Yet, she refused to let their words stop her. She held on to her vision, and she rewrote the narrative that they tried to impose on her. Today, we all know her name and her story, a testament to the power of resilience in the face of rejection. But let's bring it closer to home. Think about the person you know who has been told time and time again that they would never succeed. Maybe it's that friend who decided to start a business even when no one believed in them. Maybe it's someone in your life who was told they didn't have the right qualifications, the right background, or the right skills. But guess what? They proved them wrong. And why? Because they didn't let those words define them. They didn't let anyone else's perception of their potential limit what they could do. They knew their worth, and they acted on it. Now, I want you to reflect on your own life. Think of the moment when someone's words pierced you deeply. Think of the time when someone told you that you weren't good enough, or that your dreams were unrealistic. In that moment, did you believe them? Did you let their words shape your reality? Or did you rise above it? Because here's the truth. No one gets to define you but you. You are the author of your story. You are the one who decides what you are capable of. Words can be powerful, yes. They can build you up or break you down. But the key is, you choose what you allow to affect you. People who are insecure or afraid of your power will try to bring you down with their words. They will try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question your ability, your worth, and your place in this world. But if you believe them, if you allow those words to fester and grow, you're giving away your power. What if, instead of taking those words to heart, you use them as motivation? What if you took every insult, every judgment, every attempt to make you feel less than, and turned it into fuel for your journey? That's what the truly successful do. They don't let anyone else's idea of who they should be limit them. They use those negative words as stepping stones, each one pushing them higher, each one becoming part of their strength. I know it's hard sometimes. I know that when people close to you, people you trust, say things that hurt, it can feel like a weight on your chest. But you have to remember that those words are a reflection of them, not you. They speak from their own insecurities, their own fears, their own limited understanding of what's possible. You cannot allow their small vision to become your reality. You have something within you that they will never understand. Your dreams, your potential, your strength, it's all uniquely yours. And no one has the right to tell you that you can't achieve what you're capable of. So the next time someone tries to define you with their words, remember, they don't know you like you do. And you are limitless. There will always be moments in life where you feel like everything is falling apart, where the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and you think, I can't do this anymore. But I'm here to tell you, that is precisely when you need to rise above the situation and not fall down. Life is full of unexpected turns. There are days when you feel like you're drowning in a sea of problems, where the pressure to keep going is suffocating. But let me tell you something you may not have realized yet. You are not defined by the challenges you face. You are defined by how you rise from them. Think about the times when you've been knocked down. Maybe you lost a job that you worked so hard for. Or perhaps a relationship ended that you thought would last forever. Maybe your dreams felt like they were slipping away from your grasp, and you were left standing there, broken and unsure of what to do next. But here's the truth. Every setback you face is not the end. It's just another chapter in your story. And that chapter doesn't have to be the final one. You have the power to pick yourself up, dust off the pain, and keep moving forward. Let's take a look at real life, because inspiration doesn't come from fairy tales. Think of someone like Steve Jobs. He was fired from the very company he founded. Imagine that for a moment. He was told, "You're not good enough. You don't belong here anymore." Most people would have let that crush them. Most people would have given up, thinking that if they were rejected once, it was over. But not Steve Jobs. Instead of falling down, he rose above the rejection, used it as fuel, and came back stronger than ever. He didn't just return to Apple, he transformed it, turning it into the juggernaut we know today. And that's the difference. He didn't let the fall define him. Or think about a young athlete, someone like Serena Williams, who faced constant criticism and doubters at the beginning of her career. There were people who said she wasn't strong enough, that her game wasn't polished enough, that she didn't belong on the same court as the best. But did she give up? Did she fall down when the odds seemed stacked against her? No, she kept pushing, kept rising, kept believing in herself. Now, she's not just a tennis champion, she's a living legend, admired around the world. She rose above the noise, and her story is proof that it's never about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you rise. Now let's bring this closer to home. Think about the single mother working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. There's no time for herself. She's exhausted, drained, but every morning she rises and does it all over again. There's no applause, no recognition, no rewards. But she rises above the fatigue, the stress, the overwhelming feeling that life is pushing her down. She does it for her children. She does it because deep inside she knows that she cannot afford to let the struggles stop her from giving her best. She rises even when everything around her is crumbling. That is the power of resilience. Or think about the person who has faced failure over and over again. They've applied for countless jobs, but every door has slammed in their face. They've started businesses only to see them fail. They've been turned down for opportunities they thought were their big break. It's easy to fall into despair, to feel like the universe is conspiring against you. But what if I told you that every rejection is not a sign to stop? Every failure is a lesson, an opportunity to learn and grow. The key is to rise above the disappointment, the doubts, the no's, and to keep going. It's about looking at failure not as something final, but as something that's shaping you into the person you need to become. And every time you rise above it, you get one step closer to your breakthrough. When life gets tough, don't let it push you down. Rise. Rise above the negativity. Rise above the people who tell you that you can't do it. Rise above your own doubts. Because let me tell you this, your greatest strength is not in never falling, but in getting up every single time you do. It's in your ability to turn pain into power, failure into fuel, and struggle into strength. Life doesn't have to be easy, but it will always be worth it if you choose to rise every time you feel like falling. Every challenge you face is just another opportunity to become stronger, to become more resilient, to become unstoppable. Your story is yours and no one else's. Too often we let the world dictate who we are, what we should be, and how we should live. We let people who don't truly understand us try to write chapters in our lives. But the truth is, no one knows you like you do. No one knows your heart, your pain, your dreams, your struggles. Only you hold the pen to your narrative. It's time to stop letting others hold that pen for you. It's time to own your story, to claim every chapter, every page, every word as yours, and yours alone. Think about all the times you've been told to change, to fit into a mold that wasn't meant for you. Maybe it was that well-meaning friend who told you to stop dreaming so big, or the family member who tried to push you into a career path that wasn't your own. Society tells you to act a certain way, look a certain way, be a certain way, but I'm here to remind you, your uniqueness is your superpower. You don't need to apologize for who you are. You don't need to shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. Own who you are, unapologetically. Let's talk about someone like Maya Angelou, who for years struggled with her own voice. She went through unspeakable pain, suffering in silence and doubting her worth. But despite all the darkness she faced, she rose, found her voice, and shared her story with the world. Her story wasn't perfect. It was raw, it was real, and it was hers. She didn't let the judgment of others silence her. She owned her truth, and in doing so, she became a voice for millions of people who felt they had no voice. She showed us that the power of owning your story can change the world. Or look at someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His story wasn't one of instant success. He struggled with rejection, poverty, and doubt. But rather than hiding from his past or being ashamed of it, he shared it. He turned his setbacks into lessons and used every failure as a stepping stone. His story of resilience, of building himself from nothing, is what inspires millions today. He didn't let his past define him, but rather, he used it to fuel his future. He owns every part of his journey, the highs and the lows, the triumphs and the challenges. And because of that, he has become one of the most successful and admired figures in the world. Let me bring this even closer. Think of the single mother who faced the judgment of the world, who had to navigate life struggles on her own, but still, she rose. She may have been told she couldn't do it, that she wouldn't be able to raise her children, that she wouldn't amount to much. But did she let that stop her? No. She embraced her story, the story of strength, sacrifice, and love, and she owned it. Her story became a testament to every woman who has ever felt unworthy. A story that proved that no matter how many people try to tear you down, you can rise above it. What about the young entrepreneur who was laughed at when they first started their business? The world told them, it's not going to work. You're just another dreamer with no plan. But instead of letting those words sink in, they took the rejection and used it as motivation. They wrote their own story, one of grit, hard work, and unwavering belief in themselves. Today their business is thriving, and they are living proof that when you own your story, no one can take your success away from you. And let's not forget those who have suffered immense personal loss, those who have faced grief that seems impossible to overcome. The pain is unbearable. There are days when it feels like your heart will never heal. But in time, those who have faced the worst of the worst find the strength to rise, to rebuild, and to honor their loved ones by living a life that would make them proud. They take their pain, their sorrow, and they transform it into something beautiful. Their story becomes one of healing, of courage, of growth. And it shows the world that even in the darkest moments, there is power in owning your narrative. You don't have to have a perfect story because perfection doesn't exist. Your story is made up of your struggles, your triumphs, your mistakes, and your lessons. It's all of it. The good and the bad, the light and the dark. And all of it is beautiful. So stop running from your past, stop hiding from your truth, and stop letting others control your narrative. Own it. Own your pain. Own your triumphs. Own the moments that made you who you are. Your story is yours to tell, and no one else's opinion matters. When you take control of your narrative, you take control of your power. And that is when the world starts listening. That is when you truly become unstoppable. There is something extraordinary about peace. It's a rare gem in today's chaotic world, where noise and distractions are constant. But let me tell you, peace is not something you find outside of yourself. It's something you must cultivate within. It's easy to get swept up in the rush of daily life, to get lost in the expectations of others, to feel like you're constantly chasing after something or someone to make you feel whole. But true strength comes from within, and true peace is the foundation that will hold you steady when the world around you feels like it's falling apart. Think about the last time you felt truly at peace. Maybe it was a quiet morning when you woke up, and for a moment the world was still, and you could hear the soft whispers of your thoughts without interference. Or perhaps it was during a walk in nature, when everything around you seemed to slow down, and for that brief time, your mind wasn't filled with a million worries. In those moments, you felt something deep, something unshakable. That, my friends, is your inner peace, calling to you, reminding you that it is possible to find calm amid chaos. Now, let's be real. Life can be overwhelming. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, our time, our energy. We feel the weight of social media, the pressure of comparison, the noise of the outside world telling us who we should be and how we should act. It's easy to lose yourself in all of this. But remember, true peace does not come from pleasing others. It doesn't come from the validation of the world. True peace comes from the quiet strength of knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to bring into this world. Take a moment and think about someone like Oprah Winfrey. Her journey was not without struggle. She faced poverty, rejection, and a world that didn't always see her potential. But she never let that shake her inner peace. She understood that no matter what the world threw at her, she didn't chase fame or approval. She focused on her purpose. And that is where her peace came from. Every challenge she faced, she met with calm, clarity, and confidence, because she knew the most powerful thing she could cultivate was peace in her own soul. Or think about the person who has gone through a difficult breakup. The heartache, the rejection, the loneliness. It can feel unbearable. In those moments, the mind races, the heart breaks, and peace feels miles away. But the people who rise from this aren't the ones who drown in their sorrow. It's the ones who take time to heal, who focus on restoring their inner peace. They understand that no one can make you feel complete except yourself. They rebuild their lives, not by seeking answers from others, but by listening to their own hearts, finding their own balance, and coming to terms with the fact that peace comes when you stop looking for it outside and begin to nurture it within. It's not always easy to choose peace, especially when life throws curveballs. The world will challenge you, will try to disturb your peace, and sometimes you'll feel like you're losing control. But here's the secret. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of the strength to deal with them calmly and with purpose. Think of someone who has faced failure, lost a job, missed an opportunity, and watched others surpass them. It can be easy to fall into despair, to let the frustration take over. But the people who rise above this are the ones who find peace in knowing that failure does not define them. They understand that peace comes from self-acceptance, from the realization that they are worthy no matter what their circumstances are. They don't allow their failures to disrupt their peace. Instead, they use those experiences to grow, to learn, and to keep moving forward. Inner peace is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. When you are at peace with yourself, nothing outside of you can disturb your equilibrium. Life may still be chaotic, relationships may still be challenging, but nothing can shake the peace that resides within you. So don't wait for the world to give you permission to be at peace. Own it. Cultivate it. Protect it. Because the more you nurture your inner peace, the more powerful and unstoppable you become. There are moments in life when the world will try to make you feel small. People may criticize you, judge you, or make you believe you are not enough. But no matter what happens, never let go of your self-worth. Because your worth is not determined by the opinions of others. It's not determined by how much money you have or how many likes you get on social media. It is inherent. It is yours, and it always will be. Your worth is something no one can take away, no matter how hard they try. Think about the times when life has knocked you down, when someone's words stung, or when a relationship made you question your value. It happens to all of us. Those moments that challenge your confidence and make you doubt yourself. But what you must remember is this: those moments are not the definition of who you are. They are simply moments. They are not your truth. Your worth is not found in the judgments of others, in the rejection, or in the mistakes you've made. It's not determined by how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. And when you know your worth, nothing anyone says or does can change that. Let me remind you of a woman like Maya Angelou. She faced unimaginable pain, trauma, and loss, yet she never let go of her self-worth. She understood that no matter what had happened to her, her value was not diminished. Her worth was not contingent on the cruelty of the world or the harshness of her experiences. She owned her value, she stood tall in her strength, and she used her voice to show the world that her worth was infinite. She knew that no one could strip her of the love, respect, and dignity she deserved, because she had already claimed it. And because she did, she became an icon for millions of people who needed to hear that message. Consider the story of someone who's experienced a difficult breakup. The heartache, the feeling of being unappreciated, of being discarded, is enough to make anyone question their worth. But the true warriors in these situations are the ones who take that pain and use it as fuel to remember their own strength. They realize that a relationship does not define them. Whether it's someone who failed to recognize their value or someone who walked away, it doesn't matter. They remember who they are at their core. They are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, and no one's actions can change that. It's about reclaiming your sense of worth, even in the face of hurt. It's about telling yourself, I am enough, and I will rise above this. And let's talk about those moments when you feel overlooked at work, when you've given everything, but your efforts go unnoticed. The world will sometimes try to convince you that your contributions don't matter, that your worth is tied to the recognition you get from others. But that is a lie. Your worth doesn't diminish when no one else notices what you've done. It's easy to get lost in the need for validation. But you must remember, your worth is not tied to others' recognition. You were born worthy, and the work you put out into the world speaks for itself. Stay true to your value, stay dedicated to your craft, and don't let anyone's failure to acknowledge you make you question who you are. You are worthy of every success, every victory, every acknowledgement that is coming your way. And it will come because you are worthy of it. What about those who failed? We all have failed at something, at some point. It's easy to let failure define you, to believe that because you didn't succeed at something, you are less than. But let me tell you something. Failure is not the enemy of self-worth. It's part of the journey. It's a lesson. It's a stepping stone. But it does not diminish your value. In fact, failure often strengthens your worth, because it teaches you resilience, perseverance, and the ability to rise again. Don't ever let failure tell you who you are. Let it teach you, let it refine you, but never let it take away your belief in your own worth. And what about those who face discrimination? Those who are told they are not enough because of the color of their skin, their gender, their background. The world may try to push you into a corner, make you feel less than. But I want you to know, you are more than enough. Your worth is not for anyone to measure. It is immeasurable, it is infinite, and it is yours. Do not let the biases of the world diminish your light. Worth transcends what the world can see, and it is something only you can define. No matter what you face, never let go of your self-worth. The world may try to challenge you, break you down, and make you question who you are. But remember this, your worth is not negotiable. You are worthy of love, respect, success, happiness, and peace. Never let anyone make you feel otherwise. Stand tall, walk in your power, and never forget that you are valuable. You are worthy of everything you desire and more. Don't let the world convince you that you are anything less than extraordinary. Because when you truly understand your worth, there is nothing that can ever hold you back. As we close this journey, I want you to leave here today with a deep understanding. You are unstoppable. The world may try to break you, challenge you, and question your every move. But there is a power within you that is beyond any external force. And that power is your belief in yourself. It's your unwavering confidence, your undeniable strength, and your relentless will to rise, no matter how many times you fall. The true measure of success isn't found in the accolades you collect or the recognition you receive. It's found in how you rise after every setback, in how you push forward when the world tells you to quit, and in how you refuse to let anyone take away your self-worth. Because you are the architect of your destiny. No one can define your future except you. Never forget that no matter what you face, you are worthy of the life you dream of. And if you don't believe it yet, believe me when I say this, your potential is limitless. You are the fire that will fuel your journey, the force that will push you through every obstacle, and the light that will guide you through the darkest of times. When the world tells you that you can't, you stand tall and say, "Watch me." When the critics speak, you turn up the volume of your own voice, because the only opinion that truly matters is the one you have about yourself. You have everything inside you to succeed. It's not about waiting for the right moment, because the right moment is now. The world is full of distractions, opinions, and negativity. But do not be moved by the noise. Do not let it drown out the sound of your inner power. You are capable of so much more than you can even imagine right now. There will be days when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like you're not enough, and when everything seems impossible. But in those moments, remember, you were made for greatness. Think about all the incredible people who have shaped history, people who faced unimaginable odds, who were told they would never succeed, yet still rose to unimaginable heights. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. What do all these people have in common? They didn't let the opinions of others stop them. They didn't let rejection define their journey. They didn't let failure have the last word. They kept going because they understood one thing. Their worth was not up for debate. Their dreams were bigger than anyone's doubts, and their resilience was stronger than any obstacle. Now I want you to look inside yourself. You have that same power. You have that same resilience. It doesn't matter what life has thrown at you. It doesn't matter what people have said. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And you have the power to choose your path. You are capable